For a while now, conservatives have, mostly tongue-in-cheek, said that coronavirus is just going to disappear as soon as the election was over. Why do they say that? Well, look at how gatherings are covered. When Republicans gather to protest for their businesses opening and the chance to actually have a livelihood, the media does this.
Not wearing masks, they are not staying 6 feet apart, and then they go back home into communities, and the risk of perpetuating the spread of COVID-19 is real.
They don't wear masks, and they scream with their unmasked faces into the faces of police officers who are also often not wearing masks, which seems risky. These angry, spittle-flecked, mostly men, mostly white, spewing respiratory droplets and indignation.
The president seems to be saying that it's safe to go to the parks and the beaches. Does that argument make any sense to you?
No, and I think in some ways it really betrays.
I think it's a sign of radicalization. And I'm not saying this involves all Trump supporters. It doesn't.
These men and women, many of them carrying flags, walking around with their guns in your state capitol, not adhering to social distancing orders. They would appear to be in violation of a number of laws. Why weren't they arrested?
Yeah, why weren't they arrested? Honestly, why weren't they all executed? That'll teach them to be so cavalier with their own lives. I love the middle of that clip there. What was it? She just throws in, as if it's happenstance, mostly men, mostly white. Can you imagine if anyone said mostly women, mostly black? Imagine if I threw that in the middle of a monologue, how well that would go for me. Would that go well? The fact that we just throw out it's just men and just blame their color and their gender. That's totally fine, apparently, these days. Mostly men, mostly white. And look at these scenes from this weekend. Can we be serious for a second here? Biden gets announced as the winner, and people take to the streets, inches apart from each other. Look at this. This is Prospect Park. Thousands of people gathered outdoors, but thousands together to celebrate Biden's victory. Apparently listening to Dancing Queen, which is like the 15th most annoying part about that clip. All right, how about to Boston? What do we have going on in Boston? Wow. We got Miley Cyrus Party in the USA going on. Again, look at these people. Yeah, there's a couple masks on. There's masks on some people. Singing would be like the worst thing you could do in the middle of a coronavirus epidemic. We've seen super spreader events that happen because people are singing in close quarters, and a mask is not going to protect you in that environment. They're so close to each other, and they're singing full blast. And they're singing Party in the USA, which somehow makes it worse. Then you go to D.C. This is the scene in Washington, D.C. Look at this. Thousands and thousands of people. What is that? 10,000 people jammed into one intersection? Just absolutely going crazy, just inches apart from each other. Another one from D.C. This is in Black Lives Matter Plaza. And are they singing? Oh, jeez. Sweet Carol. Somehow this is actually worse than the Red Sox. Somehow. I don't know how that's possible. But look, they're screaming as loud as they can right on top of each other. This is like basically Anthony Fauci wakes up in the middle of the night with nightmares of such situations. How about New York City, Times Square? Is this the celebration of New Year's Eve, 1999? No. It's apparently a get-together with thousands and thousands of people talking about how great Joe Biden is. Because you know what? What a celebration for minorities all across America to elect a 78-year-old white dude. Another one in New York City. This is another gathering. People going crazy, screaming as loud as they can, just getting their droplets everywhere. This is droplet mania right here. If you're a big fan of droplets, you're loving the sea. How about over in Brooklyn? This is in New York, of course, as well. The incredible excitement that comes from a 78-year-old, mostly senile gentleman. Senility now. I mean, look at this. Again, we should stop here for a second and tell you how ridiculous this is. We need to at least observe this for a moment. You should never be that happy or as sad as we saw people after Trump won, because your government should not be big enough to elicit that sort of emotion. That shouldn't be something that happens in the United States of America. If you're being ruled by Saddam Hussein and, he gets taken out and you're tearing down a statue, okay, I get it, right? I get that. If ISIS gets taken out of your community, I understand a lot of emotion. This sort of emotion, we're going from the Republican to the Democratic Party. This guy should not rule your life the way he apparently does if you're a liberal. He's in your head all the time, and you need to get over it. We need to have a government that cannot do things that would make you that happy. Yes, that is exactly what. Government should not be the cause of your happiness. The media criticizes the right for gathering for their causes, and then praise and cheer along the left for, gathering the same way. I can understand why people don't think the media really believes COVID is a big deal. I can understand it. But I don't think that's what this is. I think it's the opposite. I think the left never puts human life in front of their agenda. They won't criticize these groups for gathering like this because it helps their agenda. And their agenda is worth the human risk to them. You have to, break a few eggs to make an omelet after all. How could the party of science be telling everyone not to take vaccines while cheering on massive gatherings at close quarters? Because they don't care about science. They don't care about these people getting sick, and they don't care if this pandemic spreads while it suits their needs. This is why they are vaccine skeptics when they need to be. It's why they are all in favor of massive gatherings when they need to be. It's why they have no interest in preserving human life up to the moment it is born. It's the collective that's important, of course. If a few of these individuals kick the bucket from coronavirus, well, that's the cost of doing business. At least they can get to go out and party on as they're getting the COVID and cheering higher taxes for themselves. It makes perfect sense to me. The truth is, the left and the media, a vaccine is never going to cure COVID-19. The only real cure for the coronavirus, to the media, is voting for Democrats. Hi, Stu Bergier of Stu Does America here. Thanks so much for watching our video. Did you know you can watch our entire catalog for free right here on our channel? Subscribe now and be sure to hit the thumbs up button on all the episodes you watch, because that's how they know you like this stupid show. And that little bell in the corner as well. Make sure you click that. You'll get notifications every time we post new content. Stu Does America every weekday at 8 p.m. Eastern right here.